Hey everyone, this is Jim, and I am going to show you how to beat the original Pokemon Blue and Red versions for Game Boy Color. So in order to do this, you're going to need a few things. One, you're going to need at least 2 of the original Game Boy Colors, or 2 Game Boy Advance, or 1 of each. You'll need both of these to be able to catch everything. You're also going to need a cable wire. This is a 2-ended wire. This has a splitter here at the end for a different type. I think it's a Nintendo DS, the next version after the Game Boy Advance. But what you're going to need is at least 2 cables that connect like this with this type of port or plug to fit this port, and that's located at the top of the Game Boy Advance or on the side of the Game Boy Color. Again, we're going to be using Pokemon Red and Blue versions. As a kid, I tore my stickers off because I thought they looked better, so that is going to insanely kill the value of these games, but I will never sell these. These are for mine for life, so you'll need 1 of each. You may also have Pokemon Yellow version. Pokemon Yellow version in this case is completely useless to us because there are Pokemon that you cannot catch in this game that can be found in either Blue or Red. The only advantage to Pokemon Yellow is that you can easily find the Pikachu. Obviously you get Pikachu as your starter, and everything is in more vibrant colors, more like the next version of the game, which actually has real colors rather than just a red hue or a blue hue to the entire game. So, but from the process of actually catching all the Pokemon and completing the game, this game is not going to be much use to you. You want these 2. So you can find them pretty cheap at online on Amazon. I think that the red and blue versions are going somewhere between like $30 and $40. The Game Boys, I think they're likewise somewhere in the $40 to $60 range, depending on the condition. Game Boy Advance, I think, is just a little bit more, but the point is they're not too expensive, and in order to get the amount of gameplay that you're going to get out of the amount of enjoyment, in my opinion, is far worth the amount of money that you're going to spend for the 2 units. The cord cost me, I think, probably like $8 at an exchange store somewhere, and so bottom line altogether, you're probably looking at between $100 and $150 maximum for everything together, and that's if you can't find better deals, which I'm sure if you look out there you can find them. And just for proof that I can get you here, you'll see my blue version currently has all 8 badges, 151 Pokemon. I'll show you how to catch a Mew in these videos as well. So this is proof that I've got everything and was able to complete the game there. So it's going to obviously take quite a bit of time. Now, all of that is not necessarily time that we're going to take here on this game. That's a lot of videos, but we'll get you through it, and I'll probably shortcut some of the time that I spend and just show you where you can catch everything, how you catch everything, and go from there. So I am going to close this down because I don't want to quite wipe that one just yet, and we will start with Red version. The other thing you are going to need, without a shadow of a doubt, is a ton of AA batteries. You will need these just endlessly in order to finish this game. Okay, so I've got a little issue. You see here, the bar at the bottom is going black, so that's not necessarily a good sign, but it will give the old 1990s treatment and be gentle with it, and it should, there we go, come back up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start by creating a new game over here. Just so you know, unless there's some very interesting dialogue that we're going to need to go over, I am not going to be laboring over all the dialogue. I'm going to skip right through it. If you are interested in it, obviously it's going to appear on the screen, and you can pause the video, rewind, whatever, and do that. That's fine. But I will not be focusing on that. Like I said, if there's something that we're going to need to go over, then we'll go over it. But outside of that, we're not going to really worry about it. Obviously, you can choose your own names that you want to use. I'm going to keep it simple for now. Choose your rival's name. We'll keep it Gary, just so I know who the bad guy is. And I'll probably use blue for my blue version. Let's go. Okay. So it's a fun little part. It's a Super Nintendo, so that's cool. You know, I like that one part, that aspect about these games, is they're always period specific. And I think if you try to leave, nope, mom's not going to stop you yet, so you gotta talk to mom. Alright, so Professor Oak's waiting for you next door. Now if you want to kind of trigger things, you can do this. You can step out into the wild, and then Professor Oak's going to stop you because, hey dude, you need a Pokemon. Or you can explore the city a little bit, small pallet town. Give you a little bit, take you in, and then you'll see his aids. We're going to be checking out his aids for a while. You'll see them throughout the game. So the thing that you want to keep in mind is, while grass and water Pokemon are a lot more common in the game, if you choose Charmander as your starter, you're gonna have some trouble at your very first gym, and at your second one. And well, not really, because we'll be able to catch a Pikachu between the first and second, between the first second gym. Before the second gym. But if you want to go through the game easy and then go back and get Charmander through our trading situation that we're going to set up, you can totally do that. But I think for our purposes, what I'll probably do is we're going to trade over all 3 starters, just so we've got them all to start. But if you're doing this the slower way, where you're just going to play the game through, and maybe find somebody to trade you the other stuff, if you've only got one of them, that was the old school way, kind of the way that they intended this to be played, was you would trade with friends, and so it encouraged you and all your friends to go get the game so you can go do that. You know, we're not necessarily going to do that. So the only thing here that you want to think about is which one do you want to evolve faster, because traded Pokemon will gain experience a lot quicker than ones that you own. So you got Bulbasaur. We're going to say no. Squirrel. Okay, so 2. We're going to say no. We're going to pick Charmander. Yes, I do. So the only thing you gotta keep in mind is that when you choose Charmander, your opponent's always going to choose your weakness, so he's going to go ahead and pick Squirtle. I don't do nicknames. Maybe you do. It's perfectly fine. And then you're going to go ahead and battle as you leave. And chances are you'll always be able to beat your opponent at this particular level, because neither of you know moves that play to each other's weaknesses. And what I've always noticed, and this is just a personal preference that you'll see with me throughout the game, is that I don't really care to put too many status changing moves on my Pokemon, because I don't really feel that they help overall. Some of them are helpful, but for the most part, if you just get a good mix of actual damage inducing moves, that those are typically, in my experience, the better way to go. So I'm just going to continue to scratch, and occasionally what happens, and even at this point, because I've gone first, occasionally they'll turn around and use like a tail whip or something that's a little bit like one of those status changing moves, and then again that pretty much just seals it for you and allows you to win, because at this stage that tail whip's all it's going to do is maybe add one more damage to your opponent's attack, whereas you're making that up more in the amount of attacks that you're doing just by continuing to attack. So I don't think I've ever lost this first battle just by following that strategy. I know it's a bit boring, but it always gets me a win, so I think it's worth using. So we beat our rival, and then you can leave, and I believe somewhere around here, oops, that's right, it's just north. If you go to Gary's sister, she'll give you a map. Oh, maybe not yet. Okay, so we're gonna go north, and my recollection, I don't think there's anybody that you need to talk. You just want to kind of get through to this as quickly as possible. And again, my experience shows me that, especially at this level, status changing moves aren't really all the business. And if you just continue to use direct attacks, you're probably in good shape. I don't want to get to too many battles just yet. When I get to the other side. Heal our Pokemon. I believe when we go over to the mart, we won't be able to buy anything. This guy's going to ask us to deliver a package to Professor Oak. Okay. So now we go back home. And if any of you want to avoid battles or not, you can just go this way. I typically will want to get the battles because it's more experience, and at this point I'm still in a place of, I want to be able to damage my opponent I want to be able to knock him out in about 2 moves at the most. So getting a level 7, 8 Pokemon, something like that, is helpful. The lower level you catch a Pokemon, the better, by the way, in case you were unaware. The more time that Pokemon spends in your care, the better they are the quicker they grow, the stronger they grow. So if you catch, let's say like a level 10 Pidgey and a level 2 Pidgey, that level 2 Pidgey is going to end up being much stronger than that level 10 Pidgey that you caught because it spent more time in your care. So keep that in mind. It might be a little convenient when you get a Pokemon that's of higher level, so you don't have to level it up so long. But by getting that higher level Pokemon, you're hindering yourself if you plan to use it. So for our purposes, it's not really going to matter too much. We're going to be wanting to get Pokemon at whatever level we need to just to level them up, and we'll keep the ones that we want. So yeah, keep it, sure. And then you give him his little package. And then Gary's gonna come back. Pokédex, and this is what's going to get us started in the game. So that's where we get the content. So a little bit ahead of myself there. So now that you've got that, here's another little secret. Nope. You don't need that just yet. We want to get to a PC before we leave town to get something. Yeah, that was a several second error, so sorry about that, guys. If you talk to the aides, I think one of them may give you something. Oops. Okay. Hey, sorry guys. Alright. So we're gonna go visit Gary's sister because she will give you a town map, which is gonna be helpful. Boom. And now we're gonna go back home really quick. And home is where you can rest and heal your Pokemon in case they are injured. Keep that in mind if you're at home. And then at this PC, you won't ever be able to access Pokemon, but you can get this little potion that you will have stored in your personal box. And you can just get out and we'll get going. So I'm going to stop the video here pretty soon. Before we get there, I'm just going to get us to the other side, and then we'll start catching our first Pokemon here in just a few minutes. Goal here is like when you get a level 2 or level 3 Pokemon, if you get a level 2, then your scratch is likely going to put it just below that center mark unless you get a critical hit. But if you get a level 3 and at this level, see where we got just a little bit of health, and that's going to be ideal when it comes to catching Pokemon. You want to try to get them down to a reasonably low mark. At this low level, it doesn't really matter too much what you do as far as from a health standpoint. You can actually throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon with full health and you got a decent chance of catching it. So as long as you get it below half, that's kind of where you want. The last thing you want though at this point is before you start catching Pokemon, start knocking them out with one move, because then you'll have to, it'll be pretty difficult to go and get everybody that you need. I should say it just makes it a little bit more hard to catch Pokemon. But there's a whole bunch of Pokemon, honestly, between here and your first gym that you can catch, which may not necessarily be everybody might not be maybe aware of it up front. So when we get to our next video, which we're going to stop here soon, we're going to heal and then we'll stop. When we get to our next video, we're going to go ahead and start catching Pokemon. I'll show you all the different areas just in this small place before we even get to the forest, which is the next part. I'll show you all the different Pokemon that you can catch, and you're going to want to get at least a couple of them for our first gym, because it's going to be the only way you'll really stand a chance, especially if you've done what I did, which was catch Charmander first. So, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and save the game. You always want to do that. So we'll save that, and we will talk again very soon. So thank you everybody for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to the video, and let me know if you like what you see, and we will meet again soon. Take care.